This is day 48 after my surgery. I had a one inch leg length discrepancy. This is now 2 weeks and a day, maybe 2 days since my distraction was completed. I did end up going 26.5 millimeters of distraction, so just a little bit over an inch. At this point, I have a cane still. I dropped that last week, but really my gait, my walk was not very good without it or with it. This week in physical therapy, they really have started working with me on getting my walk a little bit, cleaner. So I'm now focusing on that. So if I focus correctly, I can actually walk pretty well. It hurts a little bit to do this, so I do it pretty slow. If I want to just kind of walk along, I can do that, but I kind of swing my leg to the side. So again, focusing on, a really deliberate, and even you can see I'm limping a little bit there, just because there's a fair amount of pain in these muscles. They're not strong yet. They're still not as flexible as they need to be. Though with my knee, I can do quite a bit of flexibility. I've got about 133 degrees of flexion on that knee at this point. I can't pull it up this way, but I use a strap. So in 2 weeks, I've gone from 113 degrees to 133 degrees of flexibility. So at this point, daily I'm working on the flexibility of my quad and my hamstrings and my calves. And I'm also working on strength with leg lifts, basically all 4 ways: out, back, forward, in. And I'm working on flexibility. But I have a ways to go. This is not an easy journey. For those of you who are doing it in both legs, even more challenging. But just for one leg, 2 weeks from surgery, or 2 weeks from distraction, I wish I was farther along. I'm doing a video. I wish I was farther along, but I'm coming along. I did start using the bike yesterday, so that was good. I probably could have done that earlier, but I was actually away from home last week, so didn't have access to a bike. So that's good with the flexion I have now. 2 weeks ago at 113 degrees, that was pretty hard. Now that I'm 133 degrees, pretty simple for me to get on the bike and actually do a full revolution. So started doing that and working through that as a way to strengthen the quad. After I do a bike of about 5 minutes or so, my quad does get pretty tight, especially down here by the knee. So things are just getting back to normal. It's going to take time. I got to build that flexibility and that strength, and there's kind of a tension between the two, flexibility and strength. I think when I do the exercising, everything gets tight, and yet I'm trying to, get the flexibility back. So, I think it just takes time. 2 weeks into it, I'll continue to give you guys updates, but that's what I'm facing at this point. I think as far as work goes, I was fortunate enough to take off work during the distraction period, and then for these last 2 weeks, I started back to work today at 50%. So I certainly would say if you can not work during distraction, you're in a lot of kind of, it's a big mental game of those stretches that go on while you're distracting and while you're growing there. There's a lot of aching, and I personally would have found it pretty hard to concentrate. I was planning on doing a lot of reading, and I didn't do as much as I planned. I mostly just watched TV and movies, and it just kind of did more non-mental capacity stuff. So that's the update for today. I'll give another update in a while. Again, the journey continues. Thanks.